Hey there everybody, and welcome back to the next and essentially final video in the updated how to create a social or sharing app playlist. Now in this video we've effectively finished everything, but there are a few things I'm going to go over that I haven't already covered. So first and foremost, I'm going to show you the current playlist which is missing this current video. Now the next couple of videos that we're going to have, and what's going to be most important to you, are these 6 videos here. Now I want to give a quick breakdown of what these videos are for, but before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the channel for new content. Alright, so we have these 6 videos. The first one is how to build and host your AppGyver web app. This is a high-level overview, so if you just want to learn the basics, you can ignore the remainder of the videos in this series. However, if you decide to upload a Google Play app, you're going to want to watch this video on how to create a key store file, uploading your app to Google Play updates, and how to upload your app to Google Play. This uploading to Apple App Store just covers the basics. I don't have an Apple computer. I'll probably be getting one at some point to start uploading apps, but until then you'll need to essentially follow the steps, not necessarily in this video. This is how to do the basics with a Windows device, and then I passed it off to someone on Fiverr to do the following, but obviously that means you have to give away access to your developer account, which may not be ideal. And then lastly is a very quick how to host a static website with files. This is covered in this how to build and host your AppGyver web app. This is essentially a quicker version if you only want to do a web app. So the best way to explain it is, this video here will show you how to do just a web app if you want just a URL that you point to, like www. whatever you want your URL to be.com. This is how to upload to Google Play, is these 3 videos. This will cover the basics of uploading to the Apple App Store, which is much more complex. And then this is a high-level overview if you want to just jump in and upload a quick web app really quickly. But you can watch all of them, as they'll definitely be valuable to a degree. Now, the one thing that I realized is we haven't really built this home page here. Now, I'm going to cover this very, very quickly because this component I think can be cool, but it can also be a little bit complicated at times. So we will go to the home page, and then we will wrap up this application. So in the home page, I just have the typical navigation menu with the home button selected. I have a title, I have text, I have an empty container. You'll see when I click over here, nothing comes out. I have container 7, which just has the text app features. And then I have this component, which may look a little off or odd because it's not a native component. So if you want, you can actually go and install this component from the marketplace. I'm trying to find it over here on this left-hand side. It's an image card list with header. So if we type in image in the marketplace, you can look for image card list with header and click install, and it'll appear over here. I'm not sure where it is. Let's see, I think it's this one right here, and you'll just drag it over. Now in this case, I've dragged it and dropped it right here. And if you go to edit configuration, you'll see that you have a lot of fields here. So I'm just going to show you very, very quickly, and I'll just kind of pass this one off to you. I'm not going to do a full tutorial because this may not be something that you're even really going to need. But I've set up a data resource for this. So if we click cancel and we go to variables, and we'll see I have the homepage 1 variable. So what I will do is in the data tab, I have Homepagesocial. I will put this link in the description. And you'll see we don't need to use get record for this, at least that I'm aware of. This is the full length and the full content. And what I've done is down at the bottom of the page, there is a hidden container. You should already know the logic. We've done this elsewhere. When we click this, it makes this container visible, and this container has a bunch of input fields. So here's what they look like. We have these following, all of which are required: title, subtitle, label, content, thumbnail URL, image URL, and ID. So the post button will send the following information. It's an HTTP request to this URL and it is just going to create a post with this body. Now, this body is all of the content from our home page, so I'll walk through this very, very quickly. When we click Add Front Page Item, it makes all of these input fields visible. Variable 1, Variable 2, Variable 3, Variable 4, Variable 5, Variable 6, Variable 7, and those correspond to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can create those page variables. You'll see it's just the value page variable. And then when we click the Submit button, which is down here at the bottom, it's this Update button, it will create this HTTP request. And again, I'll put this link and the request body in the description. But basically, it's posting the variables. It'll say thumbnail URL, it'll be variable 5. Image URL, variable 6. So what you need to do is you need to first, if you want to use this, you need to add all of these input fields, add all of the page variables, and make a sample post to make this collection and make an original document. Once you've done that, you can go click on this component here and click Edit Configuration, and it's going to tell you to select a data resource. You will go and you're going to add the data resource that we've previously added. You'll go to Test, Run Test, Set Schema from Response, and then here you're going to find your Homepagesocial that we just added. And once you've selected that, for content, you're going to find the stringValue content and drag it over. For ID, you're going to find the string ID. For label, you'll find the one for label. And just a high-level overview, this is variable 1, this is variable 2, this is variable 3. But when you click Update, it's going to submit a post that's going to say title is variable 1, subtitle is variable 2, label is variable 3. That's why you can easily identify these. These are all of the string values from our data resource. So you can go ahead and set that up if you are interested. The tricky part about it is you may want to hide this button, mainly because you don't want anyone to be able to post to this. So you can set logic to hide it if your email or username is not a certain item. That still is not the most secure. So if I were you, I would add it to the app, make a couple of the posts in the back end, and then that way these options will be shown side by side. But again, that's entirely up to you, but this is what it will ultimately look like. So you can go ahead and make those posts and kind of test it out. And then this is just a text field with a couple of rows. So ideally this would be a text, and then you have your image, and we'll scroll up, and this image is cell 1. The image size is just 150 by 150, and that's in cell 1. Cell 2, because we're using a row, has 4 text fields stacked on top of each other. So that is all that there is to the actual app. Now the build process, just to cover very, very quickly, when we go to Open Build Services, make sure you've already tested your app thoroughly and everything works. Now, you need to make sure you configure before building in each of these categories. The web app is the easiest because there's not that many options, but you'll choose all of your settings and click Save and Next. And then you'll go through to build, choose your version. I always recommend going with the most recent client runtime. It's the same with Android, except for Android, you'll need your key store info, your bundle settings, your image assets. It's important that you choose the correct file size here for all of your images. And speaking of which, for the web app, your image asset, I believe this needs to be a 16 by 16.ico file. So you need to figure out how to build that. And you need to make sure for each of these that your permissions are okay. And then for iOS, same thing. Set up your settings, image assets, usage. So basically, go to configure in each of these, set all of the appropriate resources, settings, images that you have the ability to use. Make sure you're following any and all applicable laws, rules, and guidelines. And then when you go to build, in most of them, you'll choose the runtime version. You'll type in a version, which is usually something like version 1.0.0, 1.0.0, and then this could be 1, 2, as you're updating. So once you build, it'll say it's queued. If there's an error, it'll usually give you a high-level overview and you can resolve it, or you can post in the AppGyver forums to ask for help. And then you can download the file and upload to the relevant app stores. The main thing for Android, I believe that the Google Play will now have you upload an AAB file. Normally it was APK before, so I would recommend using this one just to be safe. But that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment box below. I hope this was helpful. And again, if you decide that you would rather go to codelessfix.com, you can go to this URL here. You can go to Social or Sharing App, and you can buy your own copy by clicking here. When you go to Applications, you can purchase a file here that will actually upload straight into AppGyver, and all of this work will be done for you. You'll only need to make a couple of small changes like connecting your database, which those instructions are actually included in the item page. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comment box below, and I'll see you all in the next video.